Bruce.
Thank you, Deputy Speaker. The election result is terribly disappointing for many Australians, not all but many, and not so much for us on this side of the House, but for the millions of people who voted for Labor, who share the values we represent, and there are millions out there who desperately wanted and still want a change in government in this country. The people who are completely forgotten, who are ignored by the government and indeed laughed at during question time, like the people in my electorate of Bruce. You know, I'm not aware of one single election commitment that the government made for my electorate. Not one. Not one thing promised in the city of Greater Dandenong, which is the second most disadvantaged municipality in Victoria. Not one. There are 190,000 people who live in my electorate. Nearly half of these people have an annual income under $41,600. They don't get a tax cut. Well, maybe they get a few $100 at best, compared to the $11,000 tax cut that me and everyone in this parliament gets because of this government's priorities. Around 7,000 people in my electorate rely on Newstart to try and get by. They don't get a cent. 20,000 pensioners in my electorate are rightly worried that this government will again try and cut their energy supplement and reduce their pension. And pensioners right now are angry at the Liberals' too little, too late change to deeming rates, which continues to sneakily reduce the pension for millions of Australians. There are desperate people, thousands of people, in my electorate who've been waiting for years for this government to simply process their claim for asylum. They're now hungry and vulnerable to appalling workplace exploitation, sexual exploitation. Homelessness is increasing. You should see, Deputy Speaker, the queues in the soup kitchens and the food banks every day in my electorate because this government took away the $247 payment, which was all they had to survive on. All they had, and it's gone. The most vulnerable people in Australia, the people who need the government most of all to survive, do not feature in this government's priorities, not one bit.